so today I'm going to show you how to make a chicken salad that we enjoy eating on the trail because it's not, we eat it as our lunch because it's not hot, and when you're hiking you get hot and the last thing you really want is hot food. This would also be a really good salad just to have to eat around the house and not freeze dry it, but if you have a freeze dryer, this recipe works perfectly. So I have one roastery chicken. It was just average sized, cut up and cubed. This was about 1.25 pounds. You can go up to 1.5 pounds. Half a cup of mayonnaise, half a cup of Greek yogurt. If you don't like mayonnaise, you can do all Greek yogurt. If you don't like Greek yogurt, you can do all mayonnaise. It works both ways. It's just, it freeze dries better with the Greek yogurt. We have 1 cup of chopped pecans. These are really good when you're doing freeze drying. I try to put nuts and stuff in a lot of my salads because it holds the crunch. I like the texture of the food. Half a cup of dried cranberries. If you're gonna freeze dry, be sure to kind of like give them a quick chop just so the water has a way to get into them, or let it sit longer in the water. Half a cup of dried apricots. Same thing. And then we have 1 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1 teaspoon of dried thyme, 1 teaspoon of sugar. I did 1 teaspoon of salt because we eat this when we are backpacking and you lose a lot of salt through sweat, but it can be anywhere from half a teaspoon to a teaspoon depending on your taste. Same thing with the pepper, but I did half a teaspoon of pepper. And basically you just take a bowl and you throw it all in. It's really this simple. It's very quick to make and it freeze dries really well. And what we do is we put them in wraps and eat them like that. And literally you just kind of just going to mix everything all up together. And then of course, if you're going to eat it as just a salad, you can eat it the same day, or if you wait until the next day, it's even better. It gives all the flavors a chance to meld. It's kind of like a stew in that sense. So, but we're gonna put this in the freeze dryer. We always freeze ours first, so we'll put it in the tray and then freeze dry it. With this recipe, I think we got, was it 6 servings, I believe?
Yeah.
And we eat them with flour tortillas like this. We eat them with flour tortillas. It's good because this gives you the carbs, and it's a nice way to hold the salad. If you can't, you can just eat it with a spoon. That's fine. You can't do flour tortillas, but that's pretty much my bread. I don't eat any other type of bread really. But then you just mix it all up, and then this is what it looks like. So, and I'll be sure to show you, coming up, I'm going to show you how to do my tuna salad, which is another one that we love to have on the trail. Hi, so today I'm going to show you our tuna salad that we actually like to eat on the trail. We like to eat cold lunches because we're already hot and the last thing we want is more hot food. Tuna is really good for the protein, which is good for your muscles when you're hiking. We do have a freeze dryer, so we actually do freeze dry this. So I have 2 cans of tuna fish that I've kind of flaked up. And you're going to have 4 tablespoons of walnuts, or 1/8 of a cup, it's approximate, diced, roughly diced. And then you're gonna have 2 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons? Yep, 2 tablespoons of dried cranberries. Now I suggest if you're gonna freeze dry it that you chop them up into smaller pieces. It doesn't take that long, so that it won't take as long to rehydrate. Otherwise you're gonna be waiting 20-30 minutes. Chopped up helps a little bit. We have half a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper, And the dill and thyme is going to be a teaspoon each. And I did 1 teaspoon of mayonnaise and 1 teaspoon of Greek yogurt. Of course, you can do 2 teaspoons of Greek yogurt or 2 teaspoons of mayonnaise. It's your preference. I just find during freeze drying, it is much easier if we cut the mayonnaise in half. And 1 Granny Smith apple. This was average size, not big, and I put about a teaspoon of lemon juice in there just to keep it from going brown while I got everything else. And again, just like with the chicken salad, you're just gonna throw everything in and mix it up. And this is really good. My husband and Michaela both prefer the tuna over the chicken. I prefer the chicken over the tuna. So it's all of it's really good, but you're getting some good fats in here. Go. And you just mix. And this serves, I believe it's going to make about 6 servings. Depends really on how much you eat. And you can eat it as just a salad, or you can choose to eat it with a wrap, which is what we usually do. So see how this one's a little bit dry? I'm just going to get a little bit more Greek yogurt and put it in here. Give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got my Greek yogurt. I'm just going to add, I don't know, what's that? Probably about another tablespoon, or actually it's probably about a teaspoon and a half. Just half a tablespoon. Just because, you know, you want it a little creamy. And then we're just gonna weigh it out and freeze dry it, and Bob's your uncle. Actually, Bob is Chris's brother.
I have an Uncle Bob too.
Oh, he has an Uncle Bob too. So there you go. And this is very, very tasty. It's very refreshing, especially if you're on the trail and you have access to ice cold water. And oh, it's so good.
Yes, it is.